Welcome to the Cinefied podcast, the show where we talk Christmas this episode. We are going to narrow down our favorites, our least favorites, some unpopular opinions, and just everything holiday, Christmas, New Year's, whatever you want to call this season, of what you want to put on the screen and enjoy while the snow is falling outside and we're freezing to death. So let's go ahead and just kind of start right there. No need to really go into a big introduction. I'm going to just go ahead and dive into my favorite, as of right now, my favorite Christmas holiday film, whatever we're going to call it, Christmas film. Christmas film, as of right now, is the shirt I'm wearing, The Holdovers. I love The Holdovers. Since I watched it in theaters, I watch it annually. I just have such a good time with it, and it's one of my favorite. Actually, it is my favorite Paul Giamatti performance. So I'm very much curious if you guys feel the same, but we'll kind of dive into that here after we go down our favorites. John, what about you? What is your favorite Christmas movie as of right now?
Die Hard. Next question.
Okay. Josh.
Muppet Christmas Carol.
All right. And Dempsey.
I'm a basic bitch. It's a Wonderful Life.
All right.
I watched that last night and cried my eyes out.
Right?
I love that movie.
Well, right away, I'll just say that talking about Josh and Dempsey's picks, I personally have never seen either of them.
So, what?
I know.
So, all right, we're done. Good.
Bro.
Sorry.
Come on.
Well, John, as someone that has seen those two, let's start with. I'm going to just start with the Muppets Christmas Carol, because Muppets Christmas Carol, I've not seen that iteration of Christmas Carol, but is there really anything besides the Muppet charm that like makes that something that has to be watched over the other Christmas? Yeah.
So for Muppet Christmas Carol, it's a great film. It's not my favorite, obviously, but it is a great, timely, seasonal edition that I think everyone should see at least once, Connor. And everyone at this point should know the Christmas Carol story. It's been adapted so many times. But you also have Michael Caine as Ebenezer Scrooge, and he plays his role with such conviction against all these Muppets, and he plays them like they were living, breathing human characters. And you're watching Muppets on screen, like your mind does identify that these are not real creatures, flesh and blood. But by the end of the film, like, no, I would jump in front of a car for these guys. It's because Michael Caine treats him with such respect and reverence, even when he's being a dirtbag like Ebenezer Scrooge. And I think that kind of has this generational kind of pull where older folks and certainly kids really can just kind of invest into the story, and it just has a wider reach, I feel.
All right. Yeah, Josh, do you agree with that?
Yeah, the Michael Caine performance really defines it. Like, he is not acting in a Muppet movie. He's acting in the most straight Charles Dickens adaptation of all time, which makes it so charming because they're just being Muppets all around him. Gonzo plays Charles Dickens as a narrator, which is great. Kermit is Bob Cratchit, obviously. But Michael Caine is he's so good, and he's not acting with Muppets at all. He's acting with the best BBC actors you could think of in his head.
And so it kind of has, from what I'm hearing, it's kind of like the Airplane effect, where you put like a serious actor in like a comedy kind of setting and surround with the goofiness.
Yeah, it's so sweet and charming. The music is so good. It's such a charming movie. I defy you to watch it and not be swept away with it.
So, as I'm assuming, based on what you just said, music. So it's a musical.
Sort of. I mean, they break into song as a Muppet will do. They can't help themselves.
Is there a Muppet that at this film or outside of this film that you would say is your favorite?
Ooh, tough question. I can't.
We could come back to it.
John,
do you have a favorite Muppet? I personally have one. Mine's Beaker. So I love Beaker.
I've not really thought about the Muppets that deeply in my life to have honored the title of favorite to any one of them. They're all charming. They're all fun. They all have their strengths and weaknesses, and I enjoy them. I enjoy the collective.
Okay. No, you know what? That's a valid. Yeah, and we'll soon have them if you go to Disney World as a rock and roller coaster, but Muppet style for some reason. Dempsey, what about you? Do you have a favorite, or are you also just kind of love them as an ensemble?
I am. First of all, I just want to say I actually just crossed it off my blind. What you call? I'm blanking out right now. It was a blind spot for me up until like a month ago. So I crossed it off
Wow.
my list because there was one movie that I'd always heard really great things about, and I was not disappointed. It's very short. It's like barely 90 minutes.
Yeah.
It really sweeps you off your feet, and I think John hit it right on the head. You're watching Michael Caine deliver a god tier performance with Muppets, and
Yep.
after a while, like you forget they're all Muppets. But yeah, no, my favorite Muppet is Gonzo. And one of
Great
my
pick.
favorite movies of all time is Muppets in Space, which we could do a whole Muppets episode talking about our favorite Muppets movie because that one is
I love
is
that.
not available to stream anywhere, by the way, because I was trying to look for it recently, could not find it anywhere.
It's not on YouTube.
Oh, I didn't check. See, I always forget to check YouTube, but probably. But
When
Well,
those
we can
when
go
those
through
rights
quality.
lapse and you can't find it streaming, it's usually on YouTube for free.
Or Voodoo, Fandango at home. They
Okay.
usually can get it too.
I'll check.
So
Well, let's go into your pick, John. So your pick is Die Hard, and I mean, obviously it's a hot topic. Christmas
No, it's
movie,
not.
not Christmas movie.
No, it's not.
It's public. What
We're not having.
constitutes
This is
a Christmas
2025.
movie? What
We're not having this
constitutes a
debate.
Christmas movie that takes place during Christmas, or what elements have to be in a movie to make it a Christmas movie?
Well, it's set at Christmas first and
Mhm.
foremost, right? You have Santa outfits.
Mm-hmm.
You have Christmas carols. You have Ash standing in for Snowfall. You have family. You have the estranged family
Dark.
members coming together at the end, like in the spirit of Christmas. It's a hero story. So a little bit of redemption, a la A Christmas Carol in a way. I mean, it's about love and family, and there happens to be told through the vehicle of guns and blood and German terrorists, and it's fantastic. It's textbook Christmas movie. Bruce Willis is wrong. He's like, that's not a Christmas movie,
Yeah.
and like, bro, hey old man, I'm not hearing you, dude. I don't care. It's a Christmas movie, up and down. So, is it the most conventional Christmas movie? That's the debate, but its identity as a Christmas movie, I will die on that hill.
Will you die hard on that hill?
I will die hard. I die harder, and with a vengeance.
I was gonna. Oh, you beat me to it.
Would you say that Hans Gruber deserved his fate at the end, or do you think Do you think
Justice for
I
Hans
guess
Gruber.
I guess yeah. Well, I guess the what I should have asked is, do you think that the movie, because the movie has a lot of iconic moments. I mean, it's a fantastic film. That like whether you believe it be Christmas or not, which I agree with you, John. I do, but I feel like maybe without like the moment of Hans falling from the skyscraper, like I don't know how iconic, like because when I was growing up, that's what I knew. Obviously, yippee-ki-yay, motherfucker.
Yeah.
I knew about Hans falling from the building in slow motion. Like, do you think if he would have died another way, do you think it would have had still like that kind of like iconic appeal? Like, because I feel like that's just what I grew up with, is Hans falling from the building.
Well, it's all relative, right? Like,
yeah,
your iconic moment is Hans Gruber falling at the end. My iconic moment, is also like little things, like when I don't know, Carl Winslow, the cop from Family Matters, when he's first getting the call to check out Nakatomi Plaza, he's in the gas station, and he walks out of the gas station and walks down the street to look down the way at the tower. You see the gas prices; they're under $1. This is 1988, and so those little moments like that stick out to me. The whole make fists with your toes bit in the very beginning on the plane, he does later on in the hotel room, and then he has no shoes the whole time, and he and then the big redemption arc with the cop character who tells John McClane about, oh man, I was benched because I accidentally shot a kid one time, and then he ends up shooting the other bad guy, Hans or something, not Hans, Carl. At the end of the film, he gets his own redemption. The cop does, like the LA cop. So there's so many little moments, like you said, Connor, that are dotted throughout the whole film that are very, very memorable. And even that slimy coworker of his wife,
Yeah.
Hans, Bumpy, and he gets shot in the face. It's great. So, yeah, I mean, it's all relative.
Yeah, the guy that's trying to go after his wife, similar to like Ted and Jingle All the Way. It's like, who's really the antagonist of the movie?
Add these cookies.
It's like, it's so good. Yeah. Oh man. Yeah, Jingle All the Way. I do want to bring that up later, but let's go to Dempsey. So your film, why is it your favorite? Why is it so beloved to you?
So it's another movie that I didn't watch until like a few years ago. That everybody was like, "Oh my god, you gotta watch it." I was like, "Okay, calm down. It can't be that good." And I freaking bawled my eyes out. I was like, "What? These people weren't lying. In fact, it's probably better than what I thought people were gonna say about it."
And just so I make sure that I got the story right, it's the one where they wish that they were not like born. Is that one?
That is the log line, right? And even I think if you look up the movie, that's what it says that it's about. But that doesn't happen till like the last half hour of the movie,
right? And
honestly,
it's a 2-hour, 20-minute movie.
It's kind of crazy because that's like what people remember about it, and that is kind of what the story's about. But everything that happens before it is really the story. Like the ending does not matter if you don't understand like what this guy went through. Like it's basically about how you touch other people's lives. And it shows him from a little boy to a teenager to a grown man, falling in love, making all these sacrifices, letting everybody else in his life move on while he stays behind. And at the end, he ends up, something happens to him. I'm not going to spoil it outright, even though you should have seen it. You had 80 years to watch it, Connor. How dare you?
I'm sorry. I'm not 80 years
great
old.
for 80. Connor. You look really good.
No, and then something happens, and then all of a sudden he's like, you know what? F my life. I don't want to be here anymore. I should have taken this road, this opportunity. Mm-hmm. It's just, dude, I can't recommend it enough. If there's one movie you watch, and I watched it at Christmas Eve too, which I feel like was especially perfect. Watch it this year. Like truly, like it's such a great movie and it has such a great message that I think that you can watch it any time of the year. And I really do think it carries that way. It's like literally on my list of like favorite movies of all time, not just Christmas movies, but favorite movies.
Well, yeah, no, I'll definitely make sure to put it towards the top of my list. And I'm sorry, you guys, for not watching "It's a Wonderful Life" or Muppets Christmas Carol until hopefully within the next week or two. But it's a rough time of year. You got a lot of films to watch before end of year. So, but the Christmas movie that like I said, it's my personal favorite of recent years, and it's The Holdovers. I'm curious, have you seen it? Do you feel a similar way, or did it just not leave an impression on you three? Anyone can speak up. I personally, like I said, Paul Giamatti and Dominic Sessa for a feature film debut. His performance to me is fantastic, and I think he has unfortunately, Now You See Me, I enjoyed, but his other Christmas movie he did. That came out this year with Michelle Pfeiffer, I felt was a complete bust. But how do you guys feel about The Holdovers? John or Josh or Dempsey?
It's a great movie. I think I've only seen it once or twice, but it's
that's pretty good. It's been out for
which I really
years.
liked. Yeah, so. I liked how kind of moody and snarky and also funny and sad it was. It really takes you to the range of emotions. It's unexpectedly deep. It has that. I like a Christmas movie that kind of punches you in the gut a little bit, and it's definitely does that.
Yeah. There's. Go ahead. Sorry.
No, you're good. I've only seen The Holdovers once, and I really, really enjoyed it. I need to see it again because some things I don't recall, but what I do recall is the feelings I had when I saw it. and I kind of felt like I was moving through the film with the characters, and why that matters, I think, is in the whole context of Christmas movies and the spirit of the season and all these things. It was a different lens because it was a different kind of setup than we're used to seeing.
Mm-hmm.
And so I think that the characters are all very different, and they were snarky, they were interesting, and I don't know, it was just like I didn't know what to expect, and like I got the premise, but I didn't know where the premise was going to put me through, and so I remember liking it. I didn't love it, but I remember liking it a whole lot, really getting into it, and I would recommend it to people. But it's not like really super cheery, feel good either.
Mm-hmm.
So I would say if I would recommend it to people, but I would recommend it with that caveat: just be cautious.
Real quick,
Yeah.
it's kind of neat that it's a coming of age story Christmas movie. I think it's kind of
Mhm.
unique in that.
Yeah, and it's just very, it's very atmospheric. I mean, it's full on, that 70s vibes. I think it's, I'm a huge fan of Alexander Payne, but I think it's his best film in my opinion. Like, I love Election. I love The Descendants, and Nebraska and so forth. But yeah, this film to me, it's just something about it.
I guess
good.
Like, I guess it felt like a Christmas story that we hadn't seen before. It's a different type of Christmas because there's a whole different type of story than a Home Alone or a Jingle All the Way or.
Yeah, it's like The Rich. I totally get what you mean. That's kind of like what, like, on one hand, I got to give the movie mad respect because by the end it had me feeling for Paul Giamatti's character. He's introduced as like a total jerk, but then you see why he's a jerk because he has to deal with all these like posh rich kids. But then you understand, you sit down with one of the kids, you spend the movie with one of the kids, you realize that even though he has all the money in the world, right, comes from a very privileged background, that he doesn't have everything that he wants in particular. And I agree. I think that's a perspective that we haven't really explored before in a movie set during the holiday season, which is like when you really should be appreciative for what you have. So. Yeah, I liked it, but not my favorite movie of the year. But I think it's definitely Paul Giamatti's best performance, and he was robbed of an Oscar that year.
Mm-hmm.
No, well put. Well, yeah, I mean, completely agree with all three of you. Every point you made. Yeah, it's still my favorite, and I highly recommend you guys watch it again this season. But if you don't, definitely check it out next year because it's I think it's timeless. So. I want to know, as of right now, and we're recording this, I don't know what day it is. Do you guys know what day it is? The 15th? So
Sure.
I
Sunday
believe
the
we're
14th.
Sunday the 14th.
Yeah.
And so as of Sunday the 14th, we're about 10 days shy of Christmas. What is the last Christmas/holiday spirited movie that you watched? Dempsey, what was the last one of those you watched?
Friday, I watched Christmas with the Cranks with my wife, which has become like a kind of a holiday tradition. We saw it on a flight a few years ago. We were during like a December trip. We were like, we've never seen this movie. Let's watch it. So we made it kind of like a thing to watch it every year because we were both really charmed by it and still love it. We can talk about it some more later, but that was the last one.
Josh, what about you?
It's a Wonderful Life last night.
Oh, very recent. Yeah, didn't catch how recent it was. Yeah.
Yep.
John.
Just yesterday afternoon, had some company over, and we all we watched two things. We watched Charlie Brown Christmas, and then we watched Home Alone.
All right. And then for me, I just today I watched Jingle All the Way, and then immediately after watched The Santa Claus. So my girlfriend had never watched Jingle All the Way, so I had to watch. She's not the biggest Schwarzenegger fan, but she
probably still is not the biggest Schwarzenegger.
No, she looked over at me and said,
Turbo Man.
She was like, "This is ridiculous." So, but yeah, and she did have the point, which I mean, everybody makes the point at the end where Turbo Man is face to face with his wife and kids, just wearing a visor, and he's like, well, of course he takes off. He's like, Dad. So it's like, of course he would know he's dad, but whatever.
I mean, kids' movies. You gotta give them some sort of flexibility.
I know, but I'm just saying. But I enjoy that film. I mean, I have a good time with it, and of course, as I mentioned earlier, the real antagonist of the film is Ted, the neighbor, and the fact that he basically Arnold Schwarzenegger breaks into his house to rob his son's Turbo Man, and then basically sets his house on fire. And then tries to extinguish the fire by accidentally, quote unquote, kicking like a statue from a nativity scene like out the window while a reindeer is loose in the guy's house, and the guy comes in and he's just like, well, I hope you're proud of yourself. And he just leaves all the carnage, like his house like almost burnt down. He's just like, I'm going to go to the parade with your wife. I was just like, all right.
Can't bench press your way out of this one.
I agree with you, Connor. That is that's also one of my favorite Christmas movies. And it's one that I find a lot of people still have not seen. Like I actually introduced it to my mother-in-law a few years ago. She's like, "What is this movie?" I was like, "You've never seen Jingle All the Way?" And she was mind blown. She was like, "This came out in the '90s. Like, where was I?" Like, and I was like, "I'm telling you, it's great. It's honestly." It's one of those movies that like you could watch anytime between Thanksgiving and Christmas, and it'll put you right in the mood.
Yeah.
If you're not feeling it, it'll get you right in there.
I would just love an Arnold Schwarzenegger doll that, like the Turbo Man doll, you press and he just says, "Put the cookie down." Like
they do have a doll. They did make an action figure a few years ago. I don't know if it talks, but there is Walmart. I think has a Turbo Man action figure.
That's pretty cool. All right. So now we're going to get into more of a heated debate here. Just see if we have aligning opinions on some popular movies out there that are Christmas related. First, I feel like Cassie was supposed to be on the episode, and she did state to me that she does agree with me. So she's not here to discuss it, but A Christmas Story. Is it overrated? I personally believe that it is. I've seen it one time. Let's go ahead because I'm sure I don't hate it. I just think it's overrated. But Josh, why do you hate A Christmas Story?
I think it's the single most overrated Christmas movie, and I find it just shrill and joyless. I hate it. I really hate it.
The fact that you know what, that's valid, but I think
the repetition of like you'll put your eye out, you'll shoot your eye out,
you poke your eye out. Yeah,
the tone
it does get
voice.
annoying.
Oh my god!
I don't think it's.
Go ahead, Dempsey. Sorry.
No. I get the hate for it and why people think it's overrated. Because for an entire generation, it was like shoved in our face as like, this is the essential Christmas movie. I don't know if you guys remember 100%. TBS every
24 hours.
24 hours. That was the first time I was introduced to it. I was like, what is this shit? I don't want to watch this for 24 hours. And then you kind of end up watching it and you're like, oh, okay. All right, I got to watch it again? What else am I going to do? That's what it is. And I think that's why it's kind of got like, it's become like if anything, I thought that It's a Beautiful Life before I saw it was the movie that everybody's like, oh my God, this is the Christmas movie. But I feel like it kind of, maybe it was like that for a long period of time, but then it shifted to A Christmas Story. Everybody's like, you got to watch A Christmas Story. It's the best. But it's the problem for me with The Christmas Story. Great movie. I have no problems with it. But the core, like the general problem with it is that it's kind of out of touch. Like nothing in it is like it makes sense to our generation. Like maybe our parents probably have a little bit more of a fonder appreciation for it. And I kind of think that movie, I don't know if you guys remember 8-Bit Christmas.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Came out a few years ago. I kind of think that was what it was trying to do, is kind of like almost reboot it, because it basically is the same movie, just taking place in like the I think the 80s or the 90s, and talking about like I think whatever the Nintendo, whatever the kid wants.
Yeah.
So I think that's kind of where it's maybe a good movie, but it's just nothing for us to really relate to anymore, and it was pushed on us for so long that like we kind of almost have to detest it at this point.
Real quick, I think you can compare it to that U2 album that Apple gave to all of our phones that we didn't ask for, and they just fucking put it there.
Yes, perfect analogy. Absolutely.
Yeah. John, do you have an opinion one way or the other about A Christmas Story?
Listen, A Christmas Story, in the pantheon of classic Christmas films, this is up there, and it has earned its place in pop culture. It's definitely has left a mark on pop culture. And I don't hate the film. It's fine, you know. But to Dempsey's point, it's just especially when I was growing up, there was just this oversaturation, and I developed almost like an immunity to it, and I wanted to just like I've seen it, and it has nothing else to offer me,
Mm.
and like other films like a Home Alone or Nightmare Before Christmas or a Jingle All the Way, like or Santa Claus, I can come back to in the season and feel like rejuvenated and joyful. And I think I've just been zapped with because so much Christmas Story. As perfect, it works functionally well as a Christmas film. It's not bad or poorly made or anything. It's just too much, in my opinion.
No, I mean that's a very valid opinion. I had never seen it up until this past January all the way through. I've always seen bits and pieces, and obviously the 24-hour block. You know, my grandma would have it on the background, sort of like my TV back there, and we'd be opening presents, you know, with my grandma, but we never actually paid attention to it. You know, it's just like, you know, you blink and you know, and all of a sudden it'd be like starting over again. You know, so,
I think that's kind of like the point Dempsey and I were making, Connor. It's just been kind of diluted down to white noise.
yeah.
Yep.
Yeah,
That's it. Very, very valid. So, so that's our first, if you love A Christmas Story, I mean, feel free to, you know, come at us on social media. You know, we love
Feel
interaction.
free to watch a different movie.
The second question I got here is, what Grinch film is your favorite? What's the best? Is it the Jim Carrey one? Is it the Benedict Cumberbatch, Illumination one? I don't think that's going to be, but who knows? or is it the classic one from, I don't know, like the 50s? Or it's, I don't know when it was out, but the classic made-for-TV movie.
60s, I think. Boris Karloff, right?
Boris Karloff, man.
You're
It's got to
correct.
be that, right? That's the only
Yeah.
correct answer, right?
I disagree.
I disagree
Really?
too.
Okay. Yeah,
But
I have a theory that it's like a generational thing, and like every generation kind of has their own Grinch, but you're all wrong. It's the original.
Does anybody else, before we go into the other, does anybody else agree that it's the original?
I agree.
Okay.
I'm with Josh in this one.
And is that just because, do you think it is because the film itself is better, or do you think it's a nostalgia thing?
It's a combination. I had the Dr. Seuss book growing up, reading it. I loved to read Dr. Seuss when I was a kid, and of course, and I had the old cartoon Grinch. You know, I had a good lead on me because I got to see it when I was so much younger, and because the Jim Carrey one, for example, didn't come out till I was about 15 or 16, and then the Benedict Cumberbatch one didn't come out till I was well into adulthood, and I still never seen that one. So it really is up between the two, Jim Carrey or the OG cartoon, and it's no contest for me.
Okay. Dempsey, all right, I'm guessing you're the Benedict Cumberbatch one?
No, God, no. Absolutely not. That movie sucks.
I agree.
I'm sorry.
So you're saying I shouldn't go out of my way to check it out?
I went in with, like, I expected it to be charming, and up to that point, I loved Illumination. I was a big fan of Despicable Me. I don't remember if Despicable Me 3 came out prior to The Grinch or not, but I think The Grinch might have been the first Illumination one. Or
no, it was the Lorax. It was the Lorax was their first
that
animated.
Was them? I didn't know that was them.
But that one was decent, so I had kind of high hopes for like the Grinch, but it was unnecessary and just bad.
It just lacked all the charm. Like, if you're gonna watch an animated one, just watch the original, and it's shorter. So
yes,
and the music's better.
Yeah,
the music is so good.
Dempsey, why is the Jim Carrey one to you? Like, is it the lines? Is it the makeup, the aesthetics? What is it that pulls you into that world versus the animated?
So similar, like all that we're talking about are very recent developments for me. I saw the Jim Carrey one in theaters years ago when it came out, but for years it always been this, like, the staple, the movie that you kind of have to watch if you're gonna watch a Grinch movie. You should watch the Jim Carrey one. And I just, like, this year, I think a couple weeks ago, I was in movie theater, and I think you guys know they're having like the anniversary screenings for it this year. I don't know if you knew that.
Yeah.
So they're showing the trailer, and my God, it's just really like I don't know what, seeing it advertised in that way, it just brought back not just nostalgia, but it just reminded me of like how much of a miracle that movie is. Okay, like the fact that Ron Howard, I think this was coming off the Oscar or right before, like he was like in his prime basically. Ron Howard got this classic story, stretched it out into an actual movie with like full plot, delivered like lifelike looking creatures from Dr. Seuss's world. First, he did it first before, we got the Mike Myers Nightmare and Cat in the Hat. And then they got like
which I love, by the way.
Yeah, that movie has its fans. I'm aware. And then he got like the best comedian, also in his prime, to play the Grinch. And that movie, like just thinking of, like seeing the trailer, I was just like, wow, man, the movie's rocks. And I actually watched it before Christmas with the Cranks on Friday with my family. And my wife has always had enough. She always loved that movie. And she was like, I'm telling you, pay attention. There are some things in this movie that are especially hidden in for adults. So upon this last rewatch, the thing that took me out was, I don't know if you remember, but when the night that the Grinch comes to his two moms' house, remember he has like two moms that raise him? They're having a fishbowl party.
Clue me into that.
I know that's about.
That's like a swingers party where everybody puts their keys in the fishbowl and you go home with whoever key. Yeah. So like that shit took me out. I was like, oh my God, I can't believe that's been here for 25 years. And then also like just Jim Carrey's lines, like the one about where he's like, oh man, I got to cross this off my calendar. He's like, oh, dinner with myself. Can't cancel that again. And I'm, or the when he's yelling at himself, he's like, "You're an idiot," and then his voice is like, "You're an idiot." Like it's just really stupid shit. Like that is the kind of humor that I've always been entertained by. But once again, I don't really think I appreciated that it was in this till recently. And also the makeup, like I think the makeup stands the test of time. Like I don't know. I'm just saying. I think this movie should have probably been in a little bit more awards conversations back then, but it wasn't taken seriously because it was the Grinch.
I think it wasn't it though for visuals at the time.
Maybe visuals, but I'm also saying like Jim Carrey's performance, man. Jim Carrey delivers quite the performance as the Grinch. Personal opinion, but that's why I love this movie. That's why I think it's slightly superior to the classic.
Yeah, and I mean I completely agree with everything that you said. I think that Jim Carrey's performance, along with the makeup and aesthetic and whatnot, I think the only thing, and it's just Dr. Seuss as a whole, that when it comes to his like, it's whenever they try, not him as a person, or his writing, but the way they try to adapt it into a film, you get that obnoxious dialogue. Where they're like constantly trying to rhyme stuff. You got that with the Cat in the Hat, where that trailer for the Bill Hader Cat in the Hat coming out, the animated one, where it's just like rhyming to rhyme, and it's just. But
I don't know if you know, Walmart's doing they have a Grinch whole ad campaign this year. That basically, I don't know if you ever seen.
Everybody has a Grinch campaign this year,
and all of the commercials are rhyming and stuff. And I'm like, come on, I agree. It's obnoxious if it's not done correctly.
Yeah.
So this film was nominated for the Oscars. It was nominated for costume design. It was nominated for art direction, set direction, and it won Best Makeup.
Ah, okay.
By Rick Baker. If you don't recall who Rick Baker is, that's fine. He won the first Oscar for Best Makeup way back in 1981 for An American Werewolf in London.
That's pretty cool. I did not know that. Yep. That's real. So I misspoke, but definitely needs a lot more love. Conversationally, I feel culturally.
And Dempsey, you had brought up his Ron Howard getting an Oscar. Was that for A Beautiful Mind? Yeah.
This movie was before Beautiful Mind or after?
No, it was right before.
This was before Beautiful Mind. And before this, in 1999, he did Ed TV, which we all love. So I don't know if you remember Ed TV.
Connor, you're on a roll today. First the Cat in the Hat, The Ed TV.
I know.
I'm being for real about Cat in the Hat. I'm joking about Ed TV. So
Ed TV crosses me up with a real good Jim Carrey movie that
Truman
I love,
Show.
Truman Show.
Right. Well, that's the Truman
It's
Show.
kind of like that
is
Dante's
phenomenal.
Peak
It's one of the best
volcano
films.
thing.
Oh yeah. Or Deep Impact and what's the other one?
Armageddon.
Armageddon.
Yeah. Yeah, there was an Ed TV Truman Show
classic film.
thing where obviously the Truman Show was great and Ed TV was not.
Armageddon's in the Criterion Collection. Just think about that for a minute.
Is it?
It really is. That's
Deserves it. Deserves it. Let me stop.
You better chill out, Dempsey.
John,
what?
I know you want to wait in line this year and get that Armageddon Criterion again at South by Southwest. I know you want to.
No, they were all sold out last time.
Oh, they were? Okay.
No, I'm kidding. I don't know. I didn't fucking ask. They were sold out of like the Before trilogy. You know, good movies. Those are all gone.
So not Armageddon. Okay. All right. So on to the next, very serious question. Is The Polar Express a horror movie?
Yes. Next question.
I agree.
I think there's some really scary animation for sure, and the fact that it's like Tom Hanks being like a shapeshifter in like 7 characters in one movie,
and like Robert Zemeckis making a shitty movie at a time when Robert Zemeckis didn't make shitty movies.
That's what kind of kicked them off, I think, down that slippery slope.
Yeah.
John, why do you think this is not a horror film?
Hey, I'm conflicted with the Polar Express because I love Bob Zemeckis' work usually.
I love.
You call him Bob. You guys are close.
Yeah, it's shorthand with me and Bob. You know what I'm saying?
Polar Express, not Post. Post I hate.
Polar Express. So I really didn't like Polar Express.
No one liked it.
Well,
some people do because it's considered a classic.
I've met quite a few fans of this film that swear by it, and they credit either the visuals or the story, like the bell motif and everything, like and Tom Hanks of it all. I didn't really like the film. I thought it was unnecessarily dangerous to kids. And why that matters, like I get the horror movie argument. I do understand the argument. I don't agree with it, but I get it. But this was marketed for children, and it was like it's Robert Zemeckis, it's Tom Hanks. You're in good hands here, and it was just not fun. It didn't. I was like, I never want to watch Polar Express again. Yeah, and it's a shame because and this kind of ties back to my issues with Jim Carrey's How the Grinch Stole Christmas. I didn't really like that film a whole lot either. And the sad part is because like the Grinch movie with Jim Carrey and like Polar Express, you had all the right conditions to make a great film that stood the test of time, which is a debatable position to take. And Polar Express didn't land for me. I was like uncomfortable the whole time, and not like in a heart. Like I would put Terrifier 3. I will put my kid in front of Terrifier 3 before I put them in front of Polar Express.
That's a bold and weird statement to make, man.
So, for some context,
here. We're gonna let Terrifier 3.
For some context, my kid's 16.
Okay,
and she's seen Terrifier 1 and 2, and she actually likes Terrifier. But it's definitely a siloed thing I have going on over here. But I don't know, like. I can't get past how much I don't like Polar Express to even honor it, to give it that honor of being a horror film. Like, no.
It's not so bad as good, is what you're saying.
I don't hate it because it's very visually striking. It is a good looking film.
It's striking.
It's a good looking film. I think here's the deal. I think that the aesthetic of the environments is phenomenal. I think that he got the aesthetic, the book aesthetic of the train coming, the snow, the North Pole, everything regarding the atmosphere, the environment, perfect. The characters is where he fucked up because the characters are scary. The kid with the glasses with the weird, that kid.
Oh my god,
scary. He's a
it's very impressive. Is a technologically achievement, yeah, for sure. But you can call it a horror movie if you want or not, I don't give a shit about the Polar
What's the
Express.
Jeff Goldblum line in Jurassic Park about like you thought so much about whether you could,
you didn't stop to think
whether
if you
you
should.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you wielded it like a kid who found his dad's gun.
Yes.
Also a line for the novel, as an aside. So, because I'm a nerd like that.
I'm
yeah.
in the camp with like Polar Express. Also, I feel like is a movie that's been pushed on us. It's the movie that I remember the most. Like
Great.
whenever it was like ABC Family had their like 25 Days of Christmas, that would be the movie that would play for like the first 10 days, and I'd be like, oh, again, like okay, I've seen it once.
Yeah,
Like,
you get kind of waterboarded with it.
yeah, and like the first time, like even the plot is very weird. I thought when you asked this question, or when I saw you gonna ask this question, I was like, okay, is it because the kids get kidnapped essentially in the middle of the night? Because that was
Could be a bunch of
was,
reasons.
yeah, but I agree. Like the animation was like it was like imagine if James Cameron tried to make Avatar like in the early 2000s. We're like
Ooh.
the technology was kind of there, but not really. It's like this movie's ahead of its time, but it shouldn't be. You know what I mean? Like maybe Robert Zemeckis maybe waited a few years after. Like the Jim Carrey's A Christmas Carol, I feel like is the holiday movie that he wanted to make, but then he just kind of had to poop this one out before. So
I just don't get his fascination with that kind of animation because he originated that that style like James Cameron did for the Avatar films. Like that's his like 3D like styling, and Zemeckis originated this style, which outside of him, it was really only used one other time, and that was with Beowulf, which I do not believe was him. But
yeah, it is.
That's directed by him.
Bob Zemeckis, yeah.
I did not know that. Okay, well, never mind. I dropped what I said.
Yeah, it's like that's what I said. I think the Polar Express was the one that kind of started him on the slippery slope, thinking that he needed every movie he did to be like to have some sort of CGI.
Yeah.
Because he did this again for a while. He did this with that movie, that terrible Steve Carell movie where he's like
that was
Ken
the last
doll.
one. That's my least favorite Robert Zemeckis movie. Well, okay, I can't say that. One of my least favorite Robert Zemeckis movies. I've not seen Pinocchio. I've not put myself through that. I don't remember anybody wrote a review for the site, but I've heard nothing good whatsoever. And I'm a huge Tom Hanks fan. I think I will probably watch it eventually because I do want to go through every single film in Tom Hanks' filmography, and that is unfortunately one of them. But okay, I think we have a mixed opinion, but mainly we all agree, except for John, that it's a horror film. so it's okay, John. You can have your opinion, and I totally understand. I'm going to go ahead and just add in between this and the next question real quick because we're on the topic of horror. Is there a horror Christmas movie? And it can't be the thing I'm saying it can be. That's why I say can't. Can be the thing that's right in front of our faces. If you want to do that and be simple, but I'm going to go with Krampus personally. That's my okay. We got one. Krampus is a film. Well, I have a very divided history with it because when I saw it in theaters, I love Trick or Treat, and going into this, I was like, "Oh, this is Daughter Tree's brand new film. What's it going to be like?" And I was so let down by it, and I don't know something about it. I think I thought it was going to be more. It was like I felt like it couldn't find its footing as far as the tone. But I've watched it 2 other times since it released, and especially this year when I rewatched it, I was like, "Oh, this film is incredible!" Like it's scary, but it also has a bit of it's very like harsh humor. It's not like jokingly, it's not like jokes a joke, except for David Koechner's character. But like I think when I saw Adam Scott was the main character, I was like, "Oh, it's gonna be hilarious." And then it cut to kids getting eaten by a Jack in a Box. So, Josh, you expressed quite a big of excitement for those not watching the video. Josh, how do you feel about Krampus? Is this your go-to horror Christmas film, or is there another one?
I mean, Gremlins, but I love Krampus. My family's Austrian, which means we don't like Arnold Schwarzenegger because he's the black sheep of the country, other than the one. But we had creepy German mythology growing up. And Krampus was a thing, and so when they made a movie, I was excited as hell. And I remember going in the theater, and it is bleak. Like it's a black comedy, but it is bleak too. Like there is some bleak shit in this movie.
I think the reason why I didn't like it the first time was because of how bleak it was. Because it was
Yeah.
just like that. The first death of the film is just like a teenage girl goes out into the snow, and she just gets like, you don't see her die, but she gets like dragged out of like the like underneath the car. It's just like, oh, she's dead. It's just like,
Yeah.
oh, she'll be back. No.
I love the opening scene too. The opening scene where it's like they're in the mall and they're making a horror movie out of the consumerism just in the opening shot. I think it's so well done. I love all the creepy little goblin things throughout the movie. Krampus looks great. I love this movie. I feel like not many people know this one. I feel like you have to be a film nerd to know Krampus, but it's great.
Yeah, I don't know how well it did in box office back then, but
Yeah.
but yeah, definitely it's not hitting the same notes of notoriety that like Trick or Treat has, because Trick or Treat, everybody that well, I'm not going to say everybody because I don't know if you guys have all seen Trick or Treat, but if not, highly recommend Trick or Treat.
I think Trick or Treat, Trick or Treat. I think Trick or Treat is a deeper cut than Krampus is.
Really?
I agree.
Yeah, I think Krampus was way more commercial and had a bigger reach. The Trick or Treat was more of a niche. You have to work backwards to go find it. I found it on a whim like a decade ago, and I was like, it was like the best thing I've ever seen. It was so you know what I'm just
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying.
yeah, it's great,
and it was so good, and yeah. But I think Krampus is also a really good one. It's not my favorite, but it's a really good one.
Well, John, since you're just now talking, what is your favorite horror Christmas holiday film?
Okay. So stay with me here.
I'm sticking with you.
All right.
Uh-oh.
So it's a newer film, and it's my favorite in the moment right now.
Terrifier 3? Because you
No.
just said that? Oh,
No. Though I really did enjoy Terrifier 3 for the most part. And I like not Violent Night. That was I wouldn't say that was a horror film. It's more of like an action film. It's like Die Hard.
David Harbour.
Yeah. I did recently see Silent Night, Deadly Night, like the remake or whatever version.
Yeah.
And that was fine. But no, not that either.
Oh. We're going on quite a journey with you.
So I told you to stay with me, all right? I warned you. So it's actually a movie I reviewed for Cinefied about 2.5, maybe 3 years ago, Connor.
Okay. So
it's called Christmas. It's Christmas Bloody Christmas.
Oh, yeah. The robot one, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
And it's not because it's got a killer robot Santa. It's really like on paper, it is a stupid movie. And when you see it, it's still a stupid movie. But what I like about it are the characters, and like it does more work with character development than it has any need to do. And like the opening the film is these retail people, and they go to a bar on Christmas Eve because they don't have any family around. And it's like I've been in their shoes. Like I've done those Christmas Eves where you're just out with your buddies, fucking around and drinking and having fun, and that's your people. And then shit hits the fan, and it's a wacky movie. It's like basically like the Terminator, but in a Santa suit, of sorts. It was so much fun. I had such a great time with it, and it's nowhere near as good as like Gremlins.
Is it a practical robot Santa, or is it a CGI robot Santa?
No, it's like they have practical effects and stuff, and it's for what it is, it's believable.
Mm-hmm.
But I just found it really charming, and like this is so much fun. It's on AMC Plus right now, or the Shudder app, or whatever.
I feel like that director just recently made something else too.
I mean, if you like horror movies and Christmas movies, I think it's a fun, at least one time sit through. It's a tight 90 minutes. It's quick. It's actually less than 90 minutes, so it's quick to get through. Christmas Bloody Christmas, man. It's I don't know if it'll stand the test of time. Like I said, it's the mood I'm in right now. It puts it at the top. Because Terrifier 3 was like I wish there was another Terrifier 3 coming out like that. That's at a bar for Christmas horror movies. And even when I went to see Terrifier 3 last year, packed theater, Thursday night showing, people were still walking out. I'm like, did you guys not know what Terrifier was before you came into this bitch? Like, the fuck? Anyway. Crazy.
Yeah, I mean, made record amount of money. Yeah,
You got me on a tangent. My
People
bad.
just got
I'm
it
off.
because they love Art the Clown, so they're like, "We'll go see it." So
Yeah, he's fun.
yeah, I mean, yeah, David Howard Ford, man, shout out to him, nicest guy in the world. Plays the most like hideous like human being, quote unquote, because is demonic in the
Correct.
Terrifier films. But
Yeah.
yeah, such a good guy. All right. Let's end it on this question with, or we're not ending the whole thing, but let's end this question with Dempsey. Dempsey, what is your horror film go-to for Christmas?
So this is not technically a film, though you can log it on Letterboxd. But I was thinking really hard. I was gonna say The Thing at first, but I was like, that's not really Christmas. It's just winter and cold and aliens. But you guys familiar with Black Mirror?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Yep, the John Hamm one.
They have an episode called White Christmas.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
It's literally just two strangers that find themselves in a cabin, and they're trading scary stories that may or may not be actual things that happen to them in their life. But regardless of what you're hearing, nothing can prepare you for what's actually happening. And it's a phenomenal, a one-off episode. You can just watch it. I think it's like an hour and a half. Find it on Netflix. And I watched it a few years back, and I remember being like, oh man, I hate when TV shows do Christmas specials. And I was just blown away. And I was just like, wow, this is really like much better than it has any right to be.
That's
So
a great pick.
I love Black Mirror, but I don't think I saw that one. Last Black Mirror event episode I saw was the Bandersnatch one.
which is lost media now because it doesn't exist.
Yeah, it does not exist. Yeah.
I mean, what are you talking about? What Bandersnatch episode? Anyway, but no, the White Christmas. I haven't seen that one yet. Dempsey, gotta check it out.
Totally recommend it. Yeah,
that was the last one they did before Netflix bought the show.
That's the last episode of the British era Black Mirror, which makes it even crazier that it's that good. Because people at the time.
The British era to me is way better than the Netflix.
Of course. Yeah. So imagine at the time people saw it before Netflix bought it. They were like, wow, this show ended on such a high note. And then Netflix swooped in and they were like, oh, okay. I guess we'll just settle for this. But that's my pick. It's kind of cheating, but not really. You can log it on Letterboxd. So technically it is a film.
I think that counts. That counts for me, Dempsey. So you're good, bro.
It was kind of its own individual thing. That was actually the first ever Black Mirror episode I ever watched. Because I didn't have like an interest really in it because I didn't know anything about it. And aside from Sherlock and Doctor Who, I was like, not really interested in British television. And then, I saw John Hamm was in that. And I was like, I know that guy from Mad Men.
It's John Hamm and Rafe Spall. He's the villain in the Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom. That dude.
He's also one of the Andes in Hot Fuzz.
Yep.
Yes, deep cut. Yeah.
Like, you got a stash. I know. All right. Let's go ahead and go into, I don't know why. I feel like we're all going to have a similar opinion on this next topic, but the more traditional low effort Christmas movies that we see come out, they're churned out for Hallmark year round, but for Netflix, it's usually from October to December. We get, 6 or so Christmas movies that are very low effort. They're very, predictable. Are these films that you put on and enjoy watching with your family? Or are they like something you just ignore altogether? Or is it like a guilt watch? Like, how do you feel about these types of films? Because I personally have watched no Hallmark movies. That's more of like my Grams loves Hallmark. I've never been a Hallmark person unless I'm over at her house, but as far as Netflix, I've had the misfortune for the most part of watching all the ones for this year. So how do you guys feel about those types of films? Anyone can start.
I think that there's definitely an audience for them. They keep making them, right? Mm-hmm. And I also, Connor, and like you, like I'm not a devotee of these types of films. I think in my lifetime I can count on one hand how many I've actually sat through. There was that one coming out this year that I wanted to see, but I don't have the Hallmark channel, called Christmas on Duty. And that's because it involves Marines. And I was in the Marine Corps. I was like, oh, this is, I got to check it out just to see how bad they get the Marine Corps on TV, or in the movie. But I would say that a lot of my girlfriends my age, my generation, you know, they will soak these up every year, and I think it's due to the fact that they are predictable, they're safe, it's comfort food. It's like they know what they're gonna get, you know, and it kind of ties in the whole element of Christmas. It's like this is the time to do these comfortable, safe things that make us feel good. So that's my rationale for why I think they're still ongoing year after year.
Yeah, especially when it comes to Netflix, in my opinion. Netflix, and I spoke about this in our Cinefied group chat, is that it's definitely, it feels like Netflix just picks the most random people to star in, and more than just star, directs their films. Like just random like directors come in that we haven't seen or heard from in years. All of a sudden it's like, hey, here's this Alicia Silverstone movie. It's like, come direct this, you know, and it's awful. but if you have the guy that directed, I think Paul Blart Mall Cop, direct a Christmas movie. I mean, how high up is the quality? I like Paul Blart, but as far as his filmography, I don't think without Kevin James, that's not a good movie. I'm just a Kevin James fan. So, but all right, Josh, how do you feel about these types of movies? Are you in on them or no?
I would rather watch the Star Wars Holiday Special, and it's terrible. It's objectively terrible. And I make my friends and family watch it once a year because I like that kind of pop culture torture. I don't care about them. If they're on in the background, it's fine, but I'm not going to seek it out.
Has there been like one in recent years, like on Netflix in particular, that have actually made you go, oh, this person's in it, I'll check it out? Or has it just completely been like, nah?
When you watch something and you immediately forget that you watched it at all and everything
block it
about
out.
it completely goes out of your head, that's
Yeah.
every Netflix Christmas movie to me.
Yeah. Yeah, like for me, like I remember I was so hyped for Lindsay Lohan's return, and then it was just those shitty Christmas movies on Netflix. So, and Freddie Prinze Jr. did one, and it's just so random. Dempsey, how do you feel about them?
So for me, my wife loves these. So whenever I like the Christmas time comes around, I'll walk into a room and she's watching when she's like halfway through, and they're all the same movie. Just so like it's like Fortnite. Right, where you're playing as the same character in every match. You just have a different skin on. You're a different, like customizable person. Like you're Batman. You could be the Joker, Superman, whatever. They're all the same movie, just different actor, actress, and circumstance. I think the other day I walked in her watching a movie where it was like a guy and a girl who kind of liked each other, but one of them was married. And I think she was also kind of in a relationship, and it was in Hawaii. And then the next day I watched, and she was watching another one. It was like a guy and a girl who kind of liked each other, but they were in relationships, but they like were in corporate America. And one of them was like, they were both vying for a promotion. Like it's all the same shit. But once in a while, you will find one. I think I have a theory. I'm testing it out. That there probably is like for every 100 of these, there's like a really, really good one. And I was fortunate enough to stumble upon the really good one a while back. You guys ever heard of Hot Frosty?
Yeah.
I've seen it multiple times.
This is the Frosty the Snowman came to life, but he was a hunk. The movie is the stupidest shit in the world. Like the premise is the stupidest shit, but the actual script had me cracking up. Like it was like the same humor as like a Will Ferrell, early 2000s Will Ferrell movie, where like you have this guy, he like comes into everyone's life and he's like trying to make things better, but then you had Craig Robinson plays the sheriff, and he's like on the hunt to figure out who this guy is because he stole the scarf. He thinks he's a thief, and then you have Lacey Chabert, who's like the leading lady love interest, who's like she wants to fall in love, but she's scared because she had a bad time. Honestly, like in any other circumstance, like if it was any other kind of movie or like I would not be interested. But I sat down and watched this one because the trailer made it actually look funny, and I was actually like pretty entertained. So definitely recommend Hot Frosty for anybody. And if you have a lady friend and it's easier to watch the movie that way, I would recommend. You would get a couple of really good laughs out of it.
For me, one that surprised me in the last 5 years or so, and it was a Netflix Christmas film, is one that is Jimmy O Yang from Silicon Valley. If you guys ever watched that show, he's a comedian. But
and Nina Dobrev, that one, right?
Yeah, that one. Yeah, I really like that one.
I feel like I started to watch that one too because I was interested. I like his comedy, but I never finished it. But I don't remember it being too bad too.
Yeah, that one's called Love Hard. I recommend that one because he loves Love Actually and she loves Die Hard. So they combine together for Love Hard.
Is that really the reason?
Uh-huh. Yeah.
That's funny.
So, yep. All right. We're getting down to the nitty gritty. What is an underrated gem that you just want to recommend to people that you feel like needs more eyes on? It could be a film that was misunderstood at release, has terrible reviews, but you personally think, hey, this is something that people should watch again, or is it something that you think has just been forgotten that was praised when it came out? Dempsey, let's just keep with you. And what is your underrated gem of a Christmas movie?
I was gonna say, I know I mentioned Christmas with the Cranks earlier. I feel like that movie was really got terrible reviews when it first came out, and that was the reason why I didn't watch it for so many years. This is like, oh, the critics hate it. I was one of those kids. I was like, well, if the critics hate it, so will I. Haha. But as I got older, I just stopped giving a shit about what critics, liked or hated, and decided for myself. And I'm glad I did with this movie because, like I said, it's become like a staple in my house. But I'm gonna go with, I don't know if you guys are familiar with Jim Varney's Ernest movies.
Ernest Saves Christmas.
Ernest Saves Christmas. There we go, boy. I feel like Ernest is like a lost piece of pop culture that just needs to be brought back. More people need to talk about Ernest. And the Ernest Saves Christmas movie is pretty damn good. Saint Nick is looking for a predecessor, and he stumbles into Ernest's town. Ernest gives him a cab ride, and then somehow Ernest ends up helping deliver presents on Christmas. It is the wackiest Christmas movie I think I've ever seen, and one that I think everybody needs to experience at least once.
Very, very valid. I have never seen an Ernest film. Weirdly enough, I watched Redletter Media, the YouTube channel. I don't know if you guys have ever watched their videos, but they had Macaulay Culkin on talking about Christmas movies, and they were going over just at this time, not Christmas, but they were talking about Pee-wee's Big Adventure, and they brought up Ernest, and they're like, Pee-wee is it came out of the perfect time where Pee-wee's a character that if he was around nowadays, everybody would be like, you're annoying. But, because when it came out, he's like, and Ernest, he's like, is the opposite. It came out at a time where everybody was like, you're annoying. And they still is that same way today. So, I mean, that's one, three people's opinion versus, yours, but I'm willing to, give it a shot because do you think who is Ernest? Is that like a character that he did? Is he a comedian?
Yeah, he's like a hick. He's an idiot. He's like literally the village idiot. And I think he's also like the garbage man, the handyman in the town. Nobody likes him. Nobody trusts him. And he always ends up in these crazy situations. I think in one movie he goes to Africa. Another one he ends up in jail because somebody who looks just like him commits a crime. He died. I think he died. I don't remember if he died or if his last movie was such a bomb that they decided to stop making them. But I know that they were planning on making more, but then he died essentially. In the 90s. The original voice of Slinky Dog. Fun fact.
Oh, I did not know that. Actually, I do remember when I was a kid. That the actor that played Slinky Dog died, and that's why they had to, recast. No, I don't think they recast them. I think they just
they recast them.
Did they? Oh, okay, I thought they just put them into the background. But yeah, no, I guess the closest thing I can think of when it's like an actor pulling it on like a character like that, it's kind of like Rowan Atkinson as like Mr. Bean kind of deal.
Yeah.
I'll definitely put it on the list. And so you would say the Christmas version of Ernest is the one to start with if you're going to jump into Ernest.
Yeah, Christmas. Then there's the Halloween one that's pretty great, and then the jail
Stupid
one. And Ernest Scared Stupid.
That one actually scared me as a kid.
All right.
But
Freaked me out.
it's pretty funny
I don't
when
know
you
anything
watch it as
about
an
it.
adult.
Yeah.
I know the cover because I think it's his head coming out of like a pumpkin, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's really my only knowledge. And there's like, isn't there? Well, you guys might have already said it. Isn't there like Ernest Goes to Camp or something like that?
Yeah, there's like 7 or 8 like movies and
Oh wow,
like they
that's way more
yeah,
than
and then,
I thought.
yeah, no,
If
they
you
fell
walk
off.
into a gas
Yeah, camp was
station
cool.
anywhere in America, you can buy one of them.
That's probably true actually. It sounds about right.
All right. Let's jump away from Ernest. And I kind of kept it on there a little too long. Sorry. Josh, what is a underrated or a forgotten gem for this time of year?
I couldn't find one on my list, so I looked at a couple like TV specials. I mentioned the Star Wars one before. If you're a Star Wars fan and you've never watched this thing, you have to. It's abysmal, but wonderful for how bad it is. There's a great Anthony Bourdain Christmas episode of his, of his series. It's very weird, and Bourdain. The TV show Community has a fantastic classic Christmas episode where they go into kind of get lost in an claymation, like Rankin Bass type world. It's
Or
brilliant.
Abed. Yeah, Abed's Christmas. Yeah.
So good.
Great episode.
And,
Great episode.
Yeah, it's a classic. And then Netflix had this really wild special 5 or so years back called A Very Murray Christmas. That was this Bill Murray special that is so fucking weird and wonderful. George Clooney sings in it badly because why not? Miley Cyrus gives her best vocal performances of all time in this. She's genuinely really good, but it's just strange and weird and random and very Bill Murray. I love that thing to death. More people should watch that.
No, I remember watching the Murray special on. I don't remember if it came out like Christmas Eve or Christmas Day, but I remember.
Yeah.
I see you, Dempsey. Don't be sneaking up on my titles at the bottom there. I see your little cursor down there.
Oh, sorry. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm writing in the wrong thing. I was trying to add it to my notes. Sorry. I want to add it to my list of movies that I'm going to add. I totally forgot about A Very Merry Christmas till you just mentioned it.
It's awesome.
Yeah, I remember watching it with my dad, and we were big Bill Murray, like him more than me, like at the time. And yeah, it was just like he always liked to crank up the the aux and whatnot, and let so it's just Bill Murray and George Clooney singing loudly like all throughout the house, and my mom coming down and being like, I was like, what are you watching? It's like Bill Murray singing, and she's like, turn it down.
So great and weird. There's the band Phoenix is on there too, and there's a really good Phoenix song in there. It's awesome. I love it.
All right, John, it's your time. What is your underrated or forgotten gem for this season?
So I have 2 of sorts, but I'll stick with one more heavily.
Oh.
But the quick mention is also a horror film called the original Black Christmas from 1974.
Good
Anything
one.
else released after 1974 with Black Christmas as the title, ignore it. Keep it moving. It's a great it's Christmas movie for sure. It's also a great kind of a starter pack edition for entry-level horror, entry-level slasher films, I should say. It's very creepy. So if for the horror fan in your life around Christmas time, I think this is a good addition. It still holds up. It's got has pretty good like Rotten Tomatoes, IMDb scores. It's but it is underrated. I think it kind of got buried underneath like the remakes and just other slasher films.
It's one that I definitely have to put at the top of my list. I've only seen the 2019 one, which was abysmal.
That was terrible. But the one I wanted to heavily focus on as underrated, speaking of Bill Murray, is his take on A Christmas Carol called Scrooged. Scrooged is a very wild, very almost adult take on the classic tale. And it's very nasty. It's very sarcastic. It's very mean. It's not for kids. Has a really cute kid in it. But the ending of Scrooged is a little over the top. I would say. but it still feels really good. It's like a warm hug at the end of the film because Bill Murray plays such a bastard. He he's so terrible. But I don't know. It's just I think that also got buried. Just it's an older flick from the '80s. There's been so many other adaptations of the same story. I don't know, like if you could put how Scrooge was made, if you could put that type of film out today, how it would land with contemporary audiences. That'd be a good challenge. So does it stand the test of time? That's debatable. But I do think it's underrated, very underseen, and that's my pick.
That's in my top 5.
That's a good one. It's not my top 5, but it's
movie.
a good one.
Yeah.
I
just showed it to my kids, by the way. They hated it. They're 16 and 14. They were like, what the fuck was that? But I love that movie.
That's very teenage angsty answer to have. Yeah.
My favorite, or not my favorite, my hidden gem that I have to bring up, which I feel like everybody, to be fair, it was not well received at the time of its release. But just something with it just like really tickled me. I'm a huge Jason Bateman fan at the time. And I mean, still even to today, even though he definitely has a lot of issues, I'm just going to stop there. TJ Miller, I feel like Office Christmas Party to me is one that a lot of people have not seen or just ignored upon release. I don't know how well it did at the box office, but it was bashed. It's like maybe an 8%, maybe higher. I don't know, but I feel like it is an 8%. That's what I came up with in my head on Rotten Tomatoes, and I just have such a blast with it. It's a nothing movie. I mean, it's just what the title says. It's that Jason Bateman is a hardworking guy, and he's in love with one of his coworkers, who's played by Olivia Munn, and so they have a little fling type thing, like will they, won't they? And then T.J. Miller is the brother of Jennifer Aniston, who both run the company that they work at, and I mean it's just loaded with people. You got like Kate McKinnon, you got Rob Hubel. No, not Rob Hubel. One of the Robs. There's the Rob Corddry. That's who I was trying to think of. And and Vanessa Breyer and
Randall Park.
Randall Park. That's who I was trying. And have any of you guys seen this film before?
I have. I don't remember.
Just once.
It's got a 41, by the way.
Okay.
I remember the my favorite part about that. I think Kate McKinnon's character. She runs HR, and she doesn't want to be problematic, so she wears a non-denominational Christmas sweater.
Yeah. So there's a few to me just funny moment. It's just the way that I feel like Jason Bateman and TJ Miller for me have very like friend. I feel like TJ Miller for the most part like is able to in his roles because he's almost never the main character, so he's really good at like being a supporting character and seem at least like he has chemistry with the people that he's like the kind of irritating friend of like the people that he's around, and they're just like, yeah, you could see that this is a long going friendship like him and Jason Bateman. So like that the whole relationship throughout. And then it's just the wild situation where they know that the branch is going to shut down. So they just are like, we're going to do one final big hurrah and and have cocaine flying everywhere. And, it's just over the top. And for me, my favorite joke is, and I'm just a big Randall Park person. Like whenever he pops up, like it was just like him. He's like really fascinated by Vanessa Breyer's character, who Vanessa Breyer used to be on Saturday Night Live. She used to be one of my favorites on there, and I haven't really seen much of her these days. But she like plays like his coworker that they for some reason like flirt, and she thinks it's going well, and then he basically like becomes like a baby where he's like sucking his thumb. Just like it's just because it's Randall Park. I think that I found it funny. If it was like any other actor, I just don't think it would have been as funny. But that's my recommendation, just because it's just something about it. Every time I've watched it numerous times because it's on Hulu, I think, and it's it's something easy to put on. It's something you don't got to think about. All right. So jumping into our last segment, we made lists going into this, and our lists, we did a top 5. We should have already done our top 1 at the jump. So we'll just jump into our number 2s. And for those that don't remember what our number 1s are, then we'll just go ahead and go for them. So number 1 for me was The Holdovers. John, what's your number 1 again?
Die Hard, baby.
Yep, Die Hard. Josh, what's your number 1
Muppets.
again? Muppets Christmas Carol. And Dempsey, number 1 again.
It's a Wonderful Life.
All right. Now we're getting into new territory. What is your number 2 Christmas movie? I'm going to start with Home Alone 2. Home Alone 2 for me, and we'll just do real brief reasons why they're on our list. Home Alone 2 to me is better than the first one, in my opinion. It's just, I think it's, for me, it's a lot more fun. I like the atmosphere of New York more than I enjoy, the home setting of the first film. I don't know why. It's just, I do. And I think that the moment where him and his mom like join together on their Christmas tree is in Rockefeller. I think it's just one of the best moments in like a Christmas movie period to me. I just think it's a blast. And I have a lot of, obviously some of it's rinse and repeat from the first one. That's just how it is. You see these two guys get hit, numerous times again and again. You've seen it before, but I just have a blast with it. John, what is your number 2?
Eyes Wide Shut. No, I'm kidding.
Wow. All right. I was like, wow.
Actually, but it's also what I would call an unconventional Christmas movie. It's a Lethal Weapon.
Okay.
And the reason why Lethal Weapon works for me, it's a good buddy cop movie. It's action. It's a did I break Josh with my eyes wide shut?
Yeah, you did.
Okay. All right. Lethal Weapon's got great one-liners. It's got a great villain with Gary Busey, and it's got such great Christmas iconography all throughout it. It's not like Die Hard. It's not like overtly, hey, we're a Christmas movie or anything like that. But it's I don't know. It has a seasonal feel to it, and yeah, short and sweet.
Yep, it's very valid. And I forget, you were the second one, right? I was going down the list. I don't want to
Correct.
repeat. All right, cool. I couldn't remember if I went up or down. All right, Josh, what's your number 2?
John, I hope your number 3 is Iron Man 3, based on the theme of movies you're going through so far.
Guess I have to wait and find out.
My number 2 is It's a Wonderful Life. That fights for one every year for me. They kind of go back and forth, but great Jimmy Stewart performance. Donna Reed's incredible. Frank Capra movie. It looks gorgeous, and it'll captivate you, and then it'll rip your guts out, which is what every movie should do.
Well put. Dempsey, number 2.
Number 2, this honestly, my list is interchangeable. But number 2, I'm going to just throw this out because I feel like we haven't spoken about this at all. Well, Connor did very briefly. Love Actually. I think it is the quintessential love movie, love story set during Christmas. Like it, and the fact that it just managed to weave all these beautiful stories together into one giant movie is something that I don't think is done well at all today, or if done at all. So, got to say that. Liam Neeson, the list goes on. Rowan Atkinson, Alan Rickman, another Christmas movie that he's in, besides Die Hard. Emma Thompson, the list goes on. Just a lot of incredible actors in this movie. That I don't think we would have a bill like this for a holiday movie if it wasn't like a Barbenheimer situation. So.
I think Alan Rickman is more evil in Love Actually than in Die Hard.
I second that.
I third. I'm a third on that one. Yeah.
I fourth. All right.
Eyes wide shut, everybody.
All right, number 3 pick for best Christmas film. and our personal opinions. So let's start with Dempsey, number 3.
All right. I'm going to say this because I'm surprised that no one, like, we haven't spoken about this as much, with the exception of Connor talking about the sequel, Home Alone, the first Home Alone. I watch this one every Christmas Eve, regardless. Like, this is an annual tradition for me, and the scene where Marv gets electrocuted and they swap out his body for a skeleton for like one quick frame takes me out every single time.
Yeah.
And it's just fucking hilarious. This movie's great.
It's got great sight gags.
Yeah, the second one is good too. I've never seen the movie High Noon, but I've heard that this is essentially just High Noon, just with kids. So I've been meaning to check out High Noon, so I got to go to it at some point to verify. But really love this movie, and I cannot recommend. If you have not seen this movie, please do yourself a favor and check it out.
John Williams score too, great music.
No, absolutely
correct.
Josh, number 3.
My number 3 is White Christmas. It's this classic schmaltzy, Bing Crosby, Rosemary Clooney, Danny Kaye movie about a couple of veterans who become kind of stage performers, and they end up snowed in a cabin somewhere with their old sergeant, and they stage this play, and it's just the most classic, well done. Like every Hallmark movie wants to be something like this, but it's so well done. Yeah, go ahead.
Solid pick, Josh. That's a good one.
Yeah, it really, like, if you know anybody who's ever been in the military, it'll really pull at your heartstrings that way. The ending makes me cry every fucking time. You know, when they sing "Because We Love Him," goddamn, it gets me. My grandfather was in the Navy in World War II. But it's just a gorgeous, the music is great performances, classic Christmas movie for me.
And John, number 3.
Sticking with the unconventional theme, while many people think this film is based on some Dickensian novel, it's actually based on a Mark Twain novel, Trading Places. And, again, it's not on the nose Christmas, but it's Christmas all throughout, themed, and it's just a great story about about class and mobility in society, and turning the tide and finding the best version of yourself when you have all the capabilities and sometimes none of the resources. So it's so it's a testament to the human condition and human spirit, and it's really fucking funny. So that's my number 3 pick.
No, it's a good pick. And if anyone listening has not watched the Eddie Murphy documentary that's on Netflix right now, he does go into that a little bit and talks about who was supposed to be cast instead of him. I thought that was very interesting.
Me too. Good doc, by the way. That Eddie doc was good.
Yeah, it was pretty good. I like his fascination with ridiculousness. So,
right? Yeah, that was kind of.
And then at an interview, someone was like, "Did you hear it got canceled?" And he did like a whole promotion. Basically, it's like it'd be crazy if Paramount didn't, bring it back. But whatever. People will love that show somehow. I think it's the dumbest show on earth. But my number 3 is Anna and the Apocalypse. Yeah.
Love that movie. I was debating if I should mention it at all because that movie deserves so much love.
I still need to see it.
Anna and the Apocalypse. I see so many. I'm one of those TikTok people that I'll go and I watch those people rank the randomizer and put them in order, and they do like the Christmas one. And Anna and the Apocalypse pops up and they go, "What the hell is that?" And they put it in 10. And I'm just like, you guys are being stupid. So it's never someone being like, it's terrible. It's just like, what is that? And putting it at 10. It's like, watch it. It's a gem. It's really should have been my underrated gem instead of Office Christmas Party. But I feel like this one, the songs are fantastic. It's just, I listen to the songs every now and again, even when it's not Christmas time, just because they're so catchy. I think it's just, I don't know if how much of like video game people you guys are, but the villain in this, it felt very much like an over the top like Dead Rising villain. If you ever played Dead Rising, it's just like it's like crazy over the top maniac that is trying just in on himself and locks down the school while zombies are he's like, I'm the only safe one because I'm the principal or headmaster. So yeah, it's a bad pull because none of you guys have seen Dead Rising.
But I get it. It's a zombie Christmas musical. Like that's all you need to know. And like the best combination of all three of those genres.
And it
sold me. I'm sold. I gotta watch it.
Yeah, and without spoil, it breaks my heart like every time. And I don't know if it does that same to you guys, but I'm a sap. So, if it even like pulls on the heartstring a little bit, I'm like, tears going down my face. So, all right, number 4. So John, I'll just start with me. Number 4. Bad Santa. I've never started with myself since the beginning. So Bad Santa is my number 4. Bad Santa is one that I watch or I try to watch every year. It's my favorite Billy Bob Thornton performance. And it's so funny that it's kind of like the David Howard Thornton thing. It's like Billy Bob is like one of the nicest human beings out there. Like you might not know that, but like he takes the time to talk to people. He like actually enjoys talking to his fans, interacting with people, and he's just a nice guy. And then his character as the Bad Santa character is a despicable human being, but he plays it so well. And it was like, and you talk about like method acting, like when he did that, he like was drunk during those scenes, he was high during the scenes, like the scene, and he's done interviews talking about where like, I don't know how familiar you guys are with Bad Santa, but where he's like going up the escalator and he like falls over and he's like and he like pisses himself like all over, and he like that is like him actually like peeing himself like and stumbling over, like he wasn't supposed to stumble over that part of the set. he did that because of how intoxicated he was, and they kept it in. But I mean that movie, it's what's I forget his name. It's John Ritter, right? John Ritter is who passed away. I feel like mid shooting, it felt like, because his character just disappears. But and then Bernie Mac, which he didn't pass away close to when that movie came out, but it was several years later. But still, I mean, I love Bernie Mac, and the whole movie is just hilarious, and it's not at all PC in today's age. Like there's so lot, but I mean, it's amazing that they ever made a sequel, and the sequel is it tries its hardest to be close to the same type of humor, but they still had to like dial it down compared to what the first one brought. But I mean, I love the fact that like the first time you see some humanity out of Billy Bob's character is because he got so drunk that he ate the kids, the Furman Mermans, all of his advent calendar candies, and he just tapes up all the things with like pills and thumbtacks and like stuff. And it's just like that's the first time that you see him, and he's like, oh, he has a heart. Like he's not just an alcoholic. Like he has a heart towards this kid, and he like actually cares about Furman Merman. And when he realizes his name is Furman Merman, he's like, your name's Furman Merman? He's like, yep.
God damn it! Are you fucking with me?
Yeah. He's like, how do you? Yeah. He's like, how did the reindeer get here? He's like, I don't know. That whole movie, man. Lauren Graham too. I mean, it's just a phenomenal cast. All right, sorry, I went on a little love rant about Bad Santa. I highly recommend Bad Santa, and Bad Santa 2 is fine too, but it definitely doesn't ruin the first film by any means. What is John's number 4?
So I was thinking about going into a darker space for number 4. I was thinking about maybe Batman Returns, maybe Gremlins, but I picked one that has the chainsaw and hockey mask. Of course, National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation.
I was wondering if anybody was going to pick that.
I fucking love this movie. The whole rant that Clark Griswold has towards the end when he doesn't get his Christmas bonus. When I was a kid, I wrote it down. I had a VCR. I rewound it and I wrote it down and I memorized it. and I performed it at school for my friends, and they were blown away because it's so goddamn funny. This movie, this is a film that you can watch it again and again and still pick up something new, like a sight gag or a little visual cue or something that this movie is just encoded with so many jokes, and it's also ingrained in our pop culture. Shitter is full, all that fun stuff, and it's just a classic. It's so fun. A girl I used to date at one point in time, she actually rented out a whole movie theater for me, and her and I went to the theater by ourselves and watched it on the big screen. That was epic. And so this movie's just definitely stood the test of time, and it's my number 4 pick.
I just watched that for the first time last year, and
Wow.
And I will state that I don't share the same love that you do. I think it's fine. I didn't find it as funny. I think that's just because throughout life, I've seen so many of those clips. I think the only clip that I had not seen from that film out of context was like them sliding down the him on the sled, and it just keeps going and going. It's like
you got to watch it again because you're going to see so much more stuff the second time. I promise you. It appreciates with each viewing. I promise you.
Yeah.
Do you think that this Christmas Vacation is better than Vacation?
It's the best vacation movie. I think of all 4 or 5.
I know like the other ones, but I mean like from the first one to this one because I know the first one's supposed to also be beloved. So
it's good. I just like Christmas Vacation. Like I will always go back to Christmas Vacation. Like the other ones, I'm like, whatever.
All right.
Personal opinion, of course.
Yeah. All right. Number 4, Josh.
So Christmas Vacation, real quick, fought for my list too, and it's a movie we watch every year. I think on Christmas Eve, and it just you're right. Like there are gags every year. I'll catch a new one or two and go, "Wow, how the fuck did I miss that?" After they get the Christmas tree and he's in bed reading the magazine, and the pages keep getting stuck to his hand, just sends me every goddamn time.
Real quick on that, Josh. What one quick gag that I caught way late, like deep into my viewing history.
Yeah.
With that was when he and Eddie are in the Walmart or whatever shopping around, and he puts the light bulbs on the thing, and then Eddie puts the dog food on top of that and crushes the light bulbs in the shopping cart. Like you sneeze and you miss it. It is so funny. It's like that kind of stuff. To your point, you get to like. It's the gift that keeps on giving.
It's loaded. That thing is so full, and nothing is funnier to me as a Christmas movie.
Mm-hmm.
Number 4, I had Scrooged. Was a big Bill Murray fan my whole life. Ghostbusters on up to Lost in Translation. Love him in the Wes Anderson stuff now. But this movie was so twisted and dark and funny and weird. It's a Richard Donner movie. Great cast, great people around him. Bobcat Goldthwait is hilarious in a small role. I can't remember the woman who plays
Karen Allen.
Thank you.
The main.
So good.
Yeah.
The love interest. Yeah. I mean, she's Lois Lane from the original Superman. She's an Indiana Jones. She's fantastic.
I thought it was Margot Kidder in the original Superman.
Was it?
Yeah, Christopher Reeve. Yeah,
Mandela
they do look very similar.
Mandela effect. All right.
Yeah, there you go.
But Scrooge, like the part where he's talking about stapling antlers to a mouse to make him look like a reindeer. This guy is so over the top, fucking awful, and the journey he goes through. I mean, everybody's done a Dickens Christmas Carol. We talked about Muppet Christmas Carol. This one is one of the more unique ones. It's great. I love it.
All right. Dempsey, number 4.
Number 4. I would say Jingle All the Way. Jingle All the Way is another one, really classic one for me. Just because I feel like I've watched it every year since I was a kid. And I can feel the through line of me being the kid that wanted to that thing every Christmas, that really big gift, to now being the dad that has to go out of his way to get the big gift. And that shit hurts. That hurts my wallet. It hurts my, not really stuff. It's just an interesting thing. And I can, like I said, I can appreciate both sides to it. And that's why I have such an affinity for it.
And as just watching it yesterday, or I mean, when Sinbad and Arnold are in the diner together, and then Sinbad's just talking about basically how he never forgave his dad because he didn't get him the gift that he wanted, and he just starts naming this. He's like, it talks about the the whatever multi-changing gun or whatever, and he's like, I can't remember what the exact name was, but it's just like, I can see that commercial like it was yesterday. He's just making shit up on the spot, and you can see the obvious cuts between where you could see he's just like rambling, and they were like cutting to different versions of like what he was saying next. So
my favorite is the bomb, where he's like, I got a bomb, back away. And then it actually blows up. He's like, oh shit. He didn't know it was a bomb. It's that movie's
like
another
the
one.
Wile E. Coyote like bomb thing too, because you see the sheriff like being A-OK. So
I like when they're like in that room full of all the fake Santas. It's like a crime ring, and the big guy comes out like, "I'm going to deck your halls, bub." Like that line cracks me up every time.
No, when Turbo Man is Spanish, he's like, hold on now. I didn't say that it was going to be the English version.
Yeah, it's like, this is the multilingual. And then when the big Santa, because there's like the mini Santa, and he's like on like a shoulder of another Santa, and he punches mini Santa, and as soon as he went wee like and back, I'm like, that's mini me. I looked up, it's like, it was Vern Troyer. So yeah, it was like that was his first ever like role, was him being mini Santa.
I didn't know that. That's pretty cool.
So, but all right, now we're down to our final one, and then we have one final question after, and we're closing it out. Number 5. What is our number 5? Starting with Dempsey again.
So this one also, I was gonna choose another movie, but I just wanted to verify this one is technically a movie because you can log it on Letterboxd. Okay.
Technicalities again.
This is a movie. This is a Christmas special that I always come back to, and that watching it as a kid, I still have the same impact. It still has the same impact it still has the same impact on me as an adult. Sorry, I drank too much eggnog. No, yeah, it was Eyes Wide Shut. No, Hey Arnold, Arnold's Christmas. And I don't know if you guys have ever seen Hey Arnold or this Christmas special, but Hey Arnold is a show. It takes place in a city that's very much like New York City. He grows up, he has a bunch of weird friends, and they go on a bunch of crazy adventures, and they do silly things growing up. But in the Christmas special, Arnold finds out that one of his neighbors had a daughter that he had to give away when he was fleeing his country. So Arnold wants to do everything in his power to try to find the daughter, who is now an adult, and link them up. He wants that to be his good deed. And the whole episode is about like what it means to truly give back, and just it goes really into like how deep he feels as a kid to wanting to celebrate Christmas beyond receiving gifts, and just really giving back. It's phenomenal. And like I said, just watching it today and the way it ends, it still brings a tear to my eye. And if you've seen it, you know what I'm talking about. If you haven't, definitely check it out.
Josh, number 5.
I wrote down Gremlins. I love Gremlins. I'm kind of fighting with Home Alone too, though. Home Alone is a movie that I watch with my kids every year, sometimes in the summer, but always at Christmas. And they just laugh so hard every fucking time. And just hearing them cackle at the same shit we've seen now, for a decade plus. It's so charming. It's so wild. All the little gags. The fact that these two guys aren't dead is incredible. I love the sequel too. But I'll slide Home Alone at number 5.
Yep, it's good pick. I mean, you were fighting between 2 really good picks. John, number 5.
Well, I'm going to cheat a little bit. If Dempsey can get away with the technicality, and I'm going to ride the coattails of Josh a little bit. So I'm going to submit my number 5 as what I call is Home Alone, the Whole Bloody Affair. And that is Home Alone 1 and 2 together.
Not 3, 4, and 5.
Those movies don't exist. No, just Home Alone 1 and 2. And no, I'm kidding. Actually, I have a soft
Scarlett Johansson is in part 3.
I have a soft spot for part 3, not because of Scarlett Johansson, but part 3 is
her
actually
first
not
movie,
a bad
I
flick.
think.
Oh, was
Yeah.
it? I didn't know that.
Yeah.
But the first two movies, just what a great double feature. It's like they're charming, they're fun, the gags never get old. It's like a good marriage, like how Terminator and Terminator 2 kind of work together. Like there's so great parallels that don't feel cheesy and cheap. They feel like, essential to the telling of this type of a story. Great score, great settings. Yeah. Home Alone, the whole bloody affair.
The only
Number 5.
flaw in part 2 is there's this guy in a brief scene in a hotel where we just scream at him every time he comes on screen. I won't say his name here, but
he who should not be named.
he who should not be named.
Yeah.
Yep, go ahead.
No, that's it. This number 5 is that for me.
Okay. for Home Alone 2, I mean, the reason why I have it on as my number 2 of films, Christmas movies, is, I mean, honestly, Tim Curry is just a delight in that role. I mean, when he finds out about the credit card fraud and he does the Grinch smile, which
my God,
I feel like was 100% real. I don't think it was CGI'd on,
right?
But yeah,
oh no. That was pure talent, baby.
Yeah. I mean, I love Tim Curry. I mean, I'm a huge Clue fan, obviously his Pennywise.
Oh, so good.
But I mean, Clue is one of my go-tos. So yeah, I love Tim Curry. All right. My number 5, and I just watched this coming into this, is the original The Santa Claus. I love the original Santa Claus. I will say this year I watched it. I guess I did watch it last year, but I don't remember having such a big wow when and what's so weird is when he first gets on the sleigh, when he becomes Santa and Charlie has the reins and he kind of falls over on his underwear into the sleigh, and that's the first shot you see of the reindeer in the sleigh taking flight and going off the roof before going to the next house. The CGI when they're coming off the roof is atrocious. It's awful. But then there's no other CGI that looks that bad throughout the whole movie. It looks goofy, but it doesn't look like they didn't try. That just looks sloppy as hell. But I have such a soft spot for the original one. I love Judge Reinhold. I think that he is fantastic. This was by far my first introduction to him as a kid. I did not watch Beverly Hills Cop until maybe 7 years ago. So I loved his just kind of piece of shit character that's just super full of himself. And and just Charlie being just, he can't keep the secret to himself. It's just keep it on the down low. But obviously kids come and sit on his lap even without him being full on I'm Santa Claus. They still are attracted to him to be hey, I want this for Christmas. But yeah, I mean, I think Bernard to me was always my favorite. And I think that's a lot of people that are around my age, their favorite from the first 2 films. And I remember being heartbroken when I watched because I was just I'm like Bernard. I can be cool like Bernard, And then and then the third film is just he was too old to be the character, but I didn't know that when I went and saw it in 2007, whenever it came out, and I was just I was where's Bernard? Is he gonna pop up? He did pop up in the TV show. I never watched the TV show though, but yeah, I mean, last thing I'll say about it is, I mean, I feel if you haven't seen the Santa Claus, I can't believe you have not seen the Santa Claus. The Santa Claus is one of the most iconic movies. And whether it be one that you rewatch or have any indication of liking afterwards, I think it's just a film that has been on and you've definitely seen it. Yeah, I mean, there's definitely some really weird jokes in it, where he's just talking about the girl that's Judy, who serves him hot chocolate, and he's just she's I've been working on this for 1,200 years. He's for a 1,200-year-old, you look pretty good. It's just and then she's it's oh, I'm sorry, I'm in a relationship with someone in rapping or something. So it's just well, that's a little weird. But yeah, when I met David Krumholtz at a convention, I went up to him and he didn't have a line or anything. And so I was just like, I just want to say how big of a fan of Bernard I am. And so I went up to him and I was just like, hi. It's like, I'm a huge fan of obviously your comedy nowadays, but like Santa Claus. And he's like, yeah, Santa Claus. He's like, a lot of people love that film. And it's like, and I was like, yeah, it's like, I grew up on it. It's like your character always like hit a spot for me. And I was always like, where'd you go? And he's like, yeah, I got old. And he's just like, but he's like, I'm always watching. He's like, and I'm always putting names down. he's like, so he's like, you never know what the big man's going to ask for. He's like, and like, he like full on went on to the Christmas thing. And he was just like, cause we're always watching. And like 20 minutes went by, maybe 30 minutes, and we're heading out of the convention. He went on like lunch or whatever, and we're like, we walked by each other like this, and he looks back at me and he goes, hey, and I look, and he goes, always watching. So it was like 30 minutes later, and he like remembered like that I loved like.
Oh, you're marked, Connor. You're marked.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. But all right, that's the end of my Santa Claus story, and we are on to our last final question. The film to avoid this Christmas season, our least favorite. So I am going to just kind of start with whoever wants to start. What is it doesn't have to be like the definitive worst Christmas film. It just be one that comes straight to your heart and you're like, this is one I'll never watch again. Or the one that disappointed me so much, I don't understand why people love it.
Christmas Story.
All right. Josh, go on a little rant again. Why?
Fuck that movie again. It was shoved down our throats. It was like the popular band that everyone kept talking about. And I'm like, I just don't fucking get it. I don't understand it. I don't get the love. It was everywhere. There are better movies. Go watch Gremlins.
Nope. That's very valid. All right. I'll go second because this is one that I've, for whatever reason, but when I used to work at a store, we had a TV directly behind us, kind of like this. So I'd be working at the register. We'd have the TV on. I could play something that, was around the holidays, Christmassy. So I was just like, I'll put it on. I put on Spirited, which is Apple TV Plus movie with Ryan Reynolds.
You just killed Santa. Santa, no.
So Ryan Reynolds, Will Ferrell. It's a Christmas Carol retelling, and it's a musical with two people that cannot sing. It's a rough experience.
I blocked that movie out until you mentioned it. Like I totally forgot that movie existed.
Yeah, I've unfortunately, because it was one of the few films that we had access to because our TV at the store had Apple TV, and it was like we could watch Charlie Brown Christmas, which it was like, it's a democracy at the store. It's like, what do you want to watch? And then it's like no one wanted to watch Charlie Brown, so it's just like, well, what else we got? Nothing except for Spirited. So we were gonna put Spirited on. So we had that on loop. So instead of turning off the TV, it was on loop. So I watched that maybe 18 times. So so I hate that movie.
I love that Charlie Brown special. And real quick, speaking of Apple TV, the Ted Lasso Christmas episode is so fucking good. Probably my favorite episode of that whole series.
I need to rewatch that because I don't remember it really. I remember from the latest season, like them in Amsterdam, but I don't remember Christmas.
Yeah, it'll get you.
Yeah, I'm sure it will. Ted Lasso is one of the best shows out there.
Yep.
All right. Let's go with Dempsey.
This one, it's so I find it kind of perfect because it actually complements my favorite movie, which is It's a Wonderful Life. A couple years ago, there was a horror movie called It's a Wonderful Knife.
Oh, yeah.
Dog shit.
Terrible movie. I put it on, I think, for the first time, maybe like the year after it came out. It came out on Shudder, and I put it on late at night because I had some gifts to wrap. And my God, what a giant dog pile of garbage is it? Justin Long is in it too? Joel McHale
and Joel McHale. Yeah.
And I'm like, okay, this. I was watching it. I was like, oh my God, okay, this might be good. The plot makes no sense. The twist makes no sense. the relation, the characters make no sense. Like, I was just not buying it, and I would not wish that on anybody. If you see that movie, run the other way.
I've unfortunately have seen that movie, and I completely agree. So, yeah, it's one that I was like, I'm gonna watch it because I love Justin Long. I'm a huge Justin Long fan, and in recent years, he's Barbarian, Tusk, and other things. But then this, I mean, this was the first one that I'm like, what the fuck, dude? And he was doing this weird voice the whole time. I don't know what he was doing. And then Joel McHale was, the fake teeth. Maybe that's what made the voice. I don't know, but oh god, yeah. I was just like, okay, so he's in a different film than everybody else. So, all right. Moving on to our final worst film. Let's end it on a high note or a low note, I guess. John, do you have one?
I'm not going to say Polar Express. I'm not going to say Polar Express. I'm not going to say Polar. No. Honestly, as much as I revere and cherish and adore and champion the Black Christmas from the 70s, the 2018 Black Christmas is a travesty. It is so awful. It is. There's no joy in it. There's no entertainment value in it. It is so preachy, and it doesn't need to be. And I'm gonna quick slipstream of a tangent.
Nope, absolutely. Good.
Like it's movies like this is why people are like, they say woke is a bad thing. This is the movie that got Trump elected.
Oh no.
This is this fucking movie right here. This is why we lose
You weren't supposed to say his name.
We
Dempsey,
avoided it.
My guy, I appreciate you. You're right. I can't take it back. The cat's out of the bag. But that's
He's
how much
behind you right now.
I cannot. I didn't hear him thud down the stairs, so probably not. That's how much I can't stand this movie. It is just detrimental. Like, imagine if someone were to watch or want to get into horror films, and like they want a easy gateway, PG-13, soft R slasher, and they chose this film. They would write off the whole genre. That's how bad this film is. Like, I emphatically hate this fucking movie.
I kind of want to see it. You're kind of selling me on it. I'm not gonna lie.
Dempsey, my dude, you will regret. I would rather watch how The Grinch That Stole Bitches on Tubi.
I'm watching that too. I'll make it a double feature.
I know.
Oh no. That's my answer, Connor.
No, that's and you know what? I should have brought up at some point that when we were bringing up the Grinches, I should have said that like an option was The Mean One, because The Mean One, if you've not seen that,
I have not seen that one.
Where he's a murderous.
Is that like the
It's David Howard Ford as the Grinch, and it's
Is it like the Bambi and the fucking?
It's a different. It's similar vibes. Yeah, it's similar vibes for sure. Yeah, it's what do you call those? It's not very good.
I don't know what you call those types of movies, but we all know. Yeah, bad.
Yeah, I forget. They're IP
very
something.
All-encompassing term for sure.
But all right. Well, that ends our Christmas special. We went over really long today because we had a lot to talk about that involved all things Christmas, and I think we had a pretty decent time doing it. So I hope you guys enjoyed the episode. Make sure to follow us on all social medias, including our letterbox. We're going to be going pretty hardcore on all social media going into the new year. So make sure to keep up with us over there. And thanks for listening. Have a happy and great New Year's and a happy holiday leading up to New Year's. That was a weird way to say it, but you knew what I meant. And so from all of us at Cinefied, we hope you have happy holidays. And grab some popcorn, grab a drink, and remember, stay Cinefied. Until next time. See ya.